Nowadays, you can just simply take your car keys, put it in your pocket or purse, touch the door handle, and pop, the door opens up. These keys are amazing. Today, I want to talk to you about even a more amazing key that will unlock every door in your life and bring it success, whether it's your marriage, raising your children, your finances, the building of your businesses, the building up of your church, whatever you're endeavoring to do, there's a key that can unlock every door and bring you success. And what is that key? Why Solomon brings a great deal of emphasis in the book of Proverbs to the subject of the tongue. He says in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, the tongue has the power of life and death. So Solomon is saying there is nothing that is more powerful in your life than the words that you speak. He says in Proverbs 12:14, from the fruit of his lips a man is filled with good things, as surely as the work of his hands rewards him. One of the great emphasis that Solomon makes in the book of Proverbs is the importance of hard work, and that hard work will eventually bring a reward, and laziness will bring you poverty. But you know what he says? The fruit of his lips, a man is filled with good things. You can prosper just as much with using your words right than even with your hands. I cannot tell you how important words are. When I was a young man, the Lord spoke to me and told me to read the book of Proverbs every day, to take a chapter a day, and I would read it, 31 chapters, so I would read it once a month, and then after reading it, I would go back and read it again. And there I was gleaning certain truths that was helping me understand the application of wisdom. For wisdom is the principal thing. It's the most important thing you need in life. Wisdom has long life in her right hand and riches and honor in her left. Proverbs chapter 3. So I knew that the book of Proverbs will tell me something about wisdom. And one of the areas that Solomon talks about a lot in the book of Proverbs is the right use of words. Let me give you Proverbs 16:23. Listen to this. A wise man's heart guides his mouth, and his lips promote instruction. What's supposed to guide your mouth? He says a wise man, his wisdom guides his mouth. You are not to be allowing your anger, your resentment, your hatred, your frustration, your doubt, your fears. Don't let those things guide your words, but instead let wisdom guide your words. So what is he saying? Is you have to think about what you're saying. So here's a rule that I wrote down. What I say and how I say it can have a life-changing impact on others and myself. So even as a young man, that's what I realized. What I say will have a huge impact on myself and others, and also how I say it. So wisdom was teaching me as a young man that I had to be careful about the words that I say. That if I say the right thing at the right moment, in the right way, I can unlock doors of prosperity. I can have a happy marriage. You see, a happy marriage is going to be built on right words that husband and wives are saying to each other. But if you speak in a way that is wrong, you're going to destroy your love. You're going to destroy your respect. This is what Solomon recognized. Words can destroy or words can build up. This is a great emphasis of the book of Proverbs. Listen to this. Here's another scripture. Proverbs 22 verse 11. He who loves a pure heart and whose speech is gracious will have a king for his friend. Wow. Did you ever notice that verse? Solomon is saying the king wants those who look at people with a pure heart and not see the worst in them. You see, the worst thing you could do is speak from a heart in which you are seeing the worst in humanity. You're believing the worst in that person. You can't do this. Your words have to be based on seeing people with a pure heart. I remember hearing this story about this woman who was washing dishes, and every time she would look out her window, she saw the neighbors with filthy clothes. They were hanging them up. And she said to her husband, man, the neighbors are so filthy and dirty. Somebody needs to go talk to that lady to tell her how to wash clothes. The clothes are so dirty. And then one morning, she's washing dishes and the clothes are clean. She said, honey, someone must have talked to the woman. The clothes are clean. You know what the husband says? No, honey, I just washed the window you were looking out. You see, the problem wasn't the next door neighbor. It was what is the way she was seen. She wasn't seeing the neighbor with purity. She was seeing filth. And friend, graciousness is the umbrella that all words have to be spoken from. If you don't have grace in your heart, then your words are going to be harsh. Your words are going to be wrong. They're going to be judgmental. See, the truth is, with our words, you're going to have to sometimes correct people. You know, as a parent, you have to correct your children. As a boss, you have to correct your employees. If someone does work for you and they do bad, you might have to make a complaint. Or even as husband and wife, sometimes you have to complain to each other because you're hurting each other. But in all of these words, you have to have the umbrella of grace over you. Yeah. Think of the Apostle Paul. He knew the book of Proverbs better than you and I. And what did he have to say about words? Colossians 4:6. He says, let your conversation be full of grace, seasoned with salt, so you would know how to answer everyone. Notice, what does he teach? Your words have to be full of grace. What was the one thing people noticed about Jesus in his own hometown? Luke 4:22. It says, all spoke well of Jesus, and they were amazed at the gracious words that came from his lips. You see, Paul teaches grace needs to come from your mouth. Jesus was a man who spoke grace. And what I'm telling you, whatever you need to say, you have to let grace move you. And when grace moves you, then your words are going to build up and not tear down. So I urge you, let grace fill your heart and fill your mouth when you speak to other people.